that these are kids and the other that they're hot. It's not bad. They're pretty hot.
If you're not familiar with the movie Cuties, it is a coming-of-age story of a girl being presented with the dilemma of cultures and age. 11-year-old Amy, the protagonist, faced with difficulties at home, joins a dance group who is hoping that their risque dancing, inspired by the internet and devised by Amy as an attempt to be accepted into the group, will secure a top place in a competition. The movie also commentates on religious expectations, social pressures, friendships, femininity, and girlhood. Sounds pretty decent until now, right? Well, this is how Netflix decided to market the film to America. I mean, no wonder everyone was saying this movie was promoting pedophilia. At least let's hope that Netflix didn't screw up with the description, shall we? That sounds pretty decent to me. Only there is a problem. This is not the actual description of Netflix, it is the changed one after backlash, because the original one read, Amy becomes fascinated with a twerking dance group. I mean, come on Netflix, it's like you want to be cancelled, dude. What are you thinking? You can't lament the degradation of culture and its impact on children only when it's convenient. First or the last person who will like in the movie Cuties what we consume daily in short bursts on the platform TikTok. It takes just a short amount of time online to come across some underage girl, who possibly even look older than 18, dancing in short shorts, a tight crop top with the cleavage pushed out and a pouty face, with the provocative music and dance movements portraying exactly what the movie Cuties wants to raise awareness about. Aimuna, the director, admits the idea for the film came to her when she saw the same plot unfolding before her in real life. And the protagonists in the movie also clearly get the twerking and gyrating from the internet, and that couldn't be furthest from imagination. Even if underage girls don't directly participate in TikTok videos, they inevitably are the ones who consume them by the hundreds daily. The following videos are a part of a trend that sees young girls making suggestive movements to the following lyrics. Can't take big, but I suck on it. I ain't fucking with a got a bump on it. Bad put the on me. Whip out my then I hamp on it. I'm a badass what you're looking at. I'ma throw that back like a Cadillac. Truly the John Keats of modern times. Let's now expand on WAP, which I recently found out doesn't stand for waffles and pancakes. Perhaps one of the most disturbing scenes for most viewers, including myself, was the children recreating the explicit dance movement in Cardi B's WAP music video. Project Nightfall mentions something very important about Cardi B's explicit video. Music videos such as WAP have no age gate, they are not marked with an 18+. When we give our children a phone and access to the internet, we don't protect them from explicit content. There is currently a petition up to get the music video into age-restricted content, and in fact I stumbled upon 3 Cuties petitions in my recommend. My point is, when media such as this are so readily available and underage kids consume it, we can't pretend innuendos won't grow on them or that they won't associate nakedness with success. Is it disturbing that there are parents who eagerly send their underage kids to audition for an explicit movie? Perhaps. However, upon research, I discovered that the age of the actresses are actually 14 to 15, with the exception of a girl who's 12. Now, this is somewhat an alleviation from a misconception that they casted actual 11-year-olds, though it is not enough to assure the critics of the film's validity. To me, however, and maybe to other people too, being a 14 to 15-year-old playing in this movie signifies a grown sense of awareness of what they are involved in, as well as a heightened justification of a coming-of-age tone, especially taking into consideration that France has set the age of consent to 15, meaning that most children at the age of some of the French actors would potentially be aware of the themes the movie represents. My research also led me across the fact that Nigeria has the lowest age of consent in the world at 11 years old, which would make it both a shocking anomaly to other parts of the world, but also a solemn testament to the movie's context, Childhood, unfortunately, is a concept that varies across the world, and we need to become aware of that in order to fix and universalize it. The actor's mental health was taken into consideration with the presence of an on-set child psychologist, and the knowledge of these girls about these dances prior to filming and their experience with social media influence helped them realize the magnitude of the situation. Plainly, this movie is not bait for pedophiles matched to the repetitive outcries of the angered mobs online. It has potential pedophile appeal, yes, but so do beauty pageants, fashion shows, numerous movies and TikTok videos. Are we really to censor everything because a twisted mind will be twisted? Toddlers and Tiaras, which passed on as unproblematic for 7 whole seasons, depicted children clearly being abused physically and psychologically for the parents' own gain in an unsafe, unwelcoming environment with little to no knowledge of their actions and where every predatory male or female could go to feast their eyes on them. A child being dressed up as Dolly Parton with fake boobs and fake ass?
She's very young, but hopefully the judges will perceive it in good taste, I hope.
To do Marilyn Monroe for Emma's outfit of choice because she was a sex symbol, and I just thought that would work great with Emma and her personality.
Shake your booty, shake your booty, shake your booty. Okay, now you're gonna turn back around.
Why do we then hold Ducre's thoughtful film at such a double standard? Salo depicts real minors naked and engaging in simulated rape, widely regarded as a great artistic achievement worthy of critical analysis. Cuties, on the other hand, is being bashed about this scene where a supposedly underage girl from a music video the actors are watching on their phones flashes the camera and exposes her breast. It was only a matter of quick research to discover that the girl was not actually underage, so no child nudity is present in this film. I didn't allow myself to be swept by the angry tide online or by Netflix's shock value marketing. I saw the film, and it didn't strike me as pornographically or pedophilic suggestive. It struck me as disturbing. It made me question society and the vacation phenomenon. I remained entirely unaffected by the children dancing because I viewed it as a desperate attempt by the girls to be perceived as grown-ups. I viewed it as the plot suggested I viewed it, not as the context-less comments thought I ought to. The whole film had been boiling up to that last scene where we see the protagonist snapping out of the grown-up fantasy and also the audience clearly disturbed by them dancing. This movie does not exist in a vacuum. Dancing scenes are all an integral part of the film, and the reason why the message reverberates louder than ever. I recognize, however, that not all who watch this film approach it with ripeness, thoughtfulness, and thematic appreciation, and I understand concerns about inappropriate camera angles and moves, and whether they were really necessary, a point to which I'll come to later. It's sick, it's grotesque, but that's the point. When the girls are watching hardcore porn on smartphones and discussing degrading sex acts, you're supposed to be angry that this is the world we've given our children. When one of the girls picks up a used condom on the street and blows it up like a balloon, you're supposed to be furious that our children live in a world where perverts discard use prophylactics in public places. This movie raises questions the audience can't answer. They are left grappling with questions such as why is the male gaze a pleasure brought about in underage girls? Have we as society failed them, or do we simply read too much into their behavior? Above all, at what age is a child's exploration of broader life issues considered acceptable? Do we hold all children to the same pedestal, regardless of background and experiences? And because the audience doesn't feel comfortable answering the aforementioned questions, the audience leave them unanswered, plug their ears, and blame the director. My personal opinion is that this movie went over the head of some people who were too ready to discard its new age meanings and the conundrums it invites us to think about. Fell victim to Netflix's marketing, which grotesquely altered the movie's promotional material, changing it from its original eye-opening form in Sundance Festival where it won an award, to borderline big poster which sparked the #CancelNetflix movement. Netflix apologized for the inappropriate artwork, but the damage was done, and subscriptions were being terminated left and right, making the company lose $9 billion in a single day. Although this was very short-lived. If you've only seen the poster and trailer, it is understandable why you'd agree with the critics of this movie, or too keen to anathematize the content. It is a movie that is hard to watch, but pays off in its skepticism and reflection it provides. Even if some of you come to terms with the thoughtful message this film proposes, chances are you will still face an impasse when it comes to this one subject, the sexualization of the children. Does the film sexualize children to show that sexualizing children is wrong? The following scene depicts a real conversation I found between two Redditors, which accurately shows the pointlessness of me trying to change your opinion. The film doesn't advocate for the sexualization of young girls. It actually criticizes and condemns it and leaves the viewer with a mirror to their own actions and contributions to a society that objectifies women and labels them as sexual objects from a very young age. Exactly. Don't you see that this movie actually objectifies and sexualizes the children? Children twerking and gyrating and the camera zooming in and lingering on their buttocks. It is an art, it's a problem that needs to stop being propagated. A camera lingering on a buttock is not necessarily sexual. For example, the camera put the same shot on a group of older women during the movie. But no one finds that sexual, and you know what? A buttock in and of itself is not sexual, and if your mind only sees a perverted side, then you need to reconsider whether certain body parts are always to be viewed with the label put on by society, especially on women's bodies. Can't overlook the fact that buttocks are widely considered to be sexualized. Even if I overlook that, then what about the dance movements and the provocative dances, as well as the camera pans throughout the movie that could have been more conservative with what they were showing? Yes, to you perhaps, not to everyone who watched it. If anything, this shows the camera as the male gaze, and that the girls think that this is what the male gaze wants to see, because this is the impression society has left them with. The camera is not the predator here, it is what the girls want their audience to see, so that they can take them seriously and not as children. They invite the camera, yet with the best intentions, because they're misinformed, they don't comprehend what they're doing. The characters, not the actors. The girls in the film are too young to even understand what they are doing. To them, sex is not even a registered action yet, and so everything they do stems out of a hypersexualization of other females that they look up to, and the consumption of media that teaches them to be erotic and thus successful. If you view what is for them an innocent action as sexual, then you're the one who is the therapy. It's clearly portrayed in the film that the root of all evil is the goddamn phone and media. But it doesn't matter that the characters themselves don't know, because we know, the audience knows, and that's actually exploiting children for the wrong reasons. And you're ignoring my point. These kids are sexualized by adults in the film industry. I see your point, but actually the actors in the film were explained everything that they would do. These children playing in the movie were equipped with the knowledge and the meaning behind their actions. They're just portrayed in the film as not having it. And to address your sexualization point, they don't normalize it at all. Everyone in their sane mind leaves the movie with a troubled outlook on what we have forced our children to be. It is a cry against objectification. No one in their sane mind leaves the movie thinking, oh yes, it was fun watching underage kids twerk. The children never have any concept of sex. All they want to do is to grow up and be cool. The result is unsettling again, but as kids they have no idea what they're acting out. Maybe we are reading too much into their action as informed adults. To them, it's innocent play to get the attention of grown-ups and feel important. And we, as a cultivated audience, should be able to see beyond their desperate and pathetic attempts. But still, they are sexualizing the actors. No, that reflects more on the viewer than the movie. No. The children were clearly compromised in a sexual way on camera. No, it's a dance, period. They were covered more adequately than a bikini uniform too. Stop pretending like this film would inevitably get everyone aroused. They're not made into sexual beings through the movie's plot. No, they are being sexualized. They're not. They are. They're not. They are. They're... So that is why I think it's pointless to try to change your mind. I think each person views this differently, and once they do, there is no changing their opinion. Ultimately, it would be in everyone's benefit to have an ethical conversation about certain aspects of the film, but to do so after an informed dissection of the movie and not blinded anger. Yet, no one is talking about the internet's role in grooming children, models of femininity and sexuality, and frankly, we probably never will. Not without something explicit that shocks us all. We had an opportunity with this movie, yet we failed collectively.